All right, guys, we're going to start topic 11-5 in math today, and I'm going to start with the visual learning animation video.
How can a 100 chart help you count from one number to another? Let's find out. What do you see? Part of a 100 chart with numbers from 71 to 100. Which number is in the yellow box?
So you always want kiddos to be able to recognize which part of the 100 chart this is showing. So if you want them to count first, if that's something they need to do, to count every number all the way up to where the chart starts and ends, you can do that. And then in this project, or I'm sorry, in this topic, we're going to be focusing on starting at a number and stopping at a number. So these colors are going to be helpful. So make sure they start at the yellow.
The number 72 is in the yellow box. How can you count forward to reach the number in the red box? You can count by ones. You can mark the boxes as you count. Mark an arrow in each box. The first number you count is 72. What does the arrow show?
Okay, so on this, try it again. You can do this on Pearson Online if you want to, but really all it's going to have the kids do is move an arrow as they count to say each number. They do not have to draw an arrow. A line is just fine. So if they say 72 and then move their pencil and draw a line 73, 74, 75, 76, that's fine. In fact, they could use a color crayon, and that might be helpful because it'll make it nice and bright as well.
The arrow shows each number you have counted. Count forward from 72. 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80. When you get to the end of a row, where do you go next? You go to the start of the next row. 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90. What do you notice about the arrows? There is an arrow in each box from the yellow box to the red box. When counting by ones, you find the start number and count each number after it. What do you do when you get to the end of a row, like number 80?
So it's very important that kids know that once we get to the end of the row, we have to go down to the next row. And if they count in order, that should not be a problem.
You move to the beginning of the next row, number 81. On what number do you stop counting? You stop counting on 91. Now you...
All right. So now we're going to go into the Interactive Student Edition, and remember that students can do this. Oh, it just logged me out for some reason, so I'm going to log back in. Remember that students can do this online. That is absolutely fine if that's what you guys would like to do. If you do not want to do it online, you don't have to. Use the worksheets. I also understand that you don't need to have so much... is this the right one? Oop. I also understand that we want to make sure that we don't have... hang on here, let me get to the right book. That was the wrong book. That's the old book. There we go. I want to make sure that we don't have too much screen time as well. So that's up to you guys. You know your kiddo, you decide. So here we are on 11-5. We're counting forward. That's the whole purpose of the lesson. We're going to be using chunks of the 100 chart. We're going to need some crayons and a pencil to do this. And again, if they're doing it online, they can use the interactive tools that are over here on the side to complete that. It helps if you have a mouse. I noticed my kiddos really struggle with using the pad, the mouse pad. Okay, so same thing that we just did in that video. We're going to say, can you find the yellow number? They're going to put their finger on it. Let's ask them what number that is. They should be able to say 48. Okay, and we want them to stop at the red number. So we want them to put their finger on the red number. Ask them what number that is. That's 54. Okay, we want them to then be able to color the boxes of the numbers that they count aloud to get there. So they're going to color in with a crayon. They can use green, doesn't really matter. 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, they're going to stop. Okay, so the 100 chart is here to help us count, especially as we're learning our numbers to 100, these 2-digit numbers that get a little bit trickier as we go. Okay, so after they do that, they'll go to the next page, and remember we're going to have those green boxes at the top here. There they are. That just goes over the video practice again. These guided practice problems down here are something you can do with your kiddo. You want to make sure that they're able to do this before you just send them off to do it on their own. So get their crayons ready. This one is really showing them how to do it. What are we starting at? 42. What did they color in? We're going to count all of these numbers all the way down to the red box. We're going to stop at 60. So we can count from 42 to 60. Okay, same thing here. We're going to start at what number? 7. We're going to stop at what number? 22. So my thing here was I would make sure that the kiddos know what these numbers are. So I wouldn't tell them the number. I wouldn't say find 7. I would, because it's already bright and colorful. So ask them, put your finger on the yellow box. What number is that? Okay. Then put your finger on the red box. What number is that? Okay. Tell me how you're going to count from 7 all the way to 22. And as they're counting, they can color in. Okay. Make sure they're doing it out loud. It's always great practice to be counting out loud. Okay, this is pretty much the same thing for the entire lesson. So we're going to continue to do that, start at the yellow, stop at the red. Okay, that's more of the guided practice, and the independent practice here, it's the same exact thing, except on number 10, there are some missing numbers here. So in addition to doing what they did counting on, they're going to fill in the boxes here. Now they should be able to recognize the pattern now. So we should say what comes after 59, they should be able to say 60. What comes after 69, they should be able to say 70, and so on. Okay, so you're going to want to make sure that they can count and then recognize the pattern counting by tens or counting those decade numbers. Okay, so that is it for our independent practice for math today. If you have any questions, let me know.